Welcome to Revelations for Tuesday, February 24th, 2026. I'm your illustrious trading guy, Tom Sacred Prophet Hartman, and serving at my leisure is my first acolyte, Hand of the King, Speaker of the House, Peter Bad Guru Hartman. On Revelations, we go over the trade setups for the past day and the day ahead, all to teach you, the congregation, how to trade. So, like, follow, and listen because the next few minutes might just change your life. Peter, today was an interesting trading day.
Hmm.
Um, Look, I know we've made it about 30 seconds in, and I'm about to say gamma, but it mattered a lot today. Um, what we saw today was in equities and in Bitcoin. We saw that the massive amount of positive gamma had a huge effect on the day. So I want to point that out so that you can really see why positive gamma matters. This is a clear example of positive gamma. And I want to point out some of the modifications we made to our indicator set in order to surface out some more information in markets. That's the two things we want to take a look at today. So I'll first start with the
Wait.
last part
Before you do that,
first.
can you just explain what gamma is?
Sure. So gamma again has to do with the options market. The options market, which is bigger than the underlying market, bigger than the futures market, bigger than all that, makes it so that there are not only buyers and sellers in the market, but forced buyers and forced sellers. Yes, the market makers, the people who are selling the options, they're not like you and me. They have to trade based on hedging their portfolio. They have to take the least amount of risk possible. And so gamma is a reflection of, hey, do they have a propensity to trade in the direction of where the market is moving? So if the market's going down, they make it go down further. If the market goes up, they make it go up higher. Or do they have a propensity to do the opposite of what the market's doing? If the market goes up, they sell it. If it goes down, it goes up, it goes back up. They buy it back up. When they exacerbate the move, that's negative gamma. And when they do counter trend moves, they are positive gamma. And how big that gamma is will give us a great indication of how the market will react that day.
Okay, so if gamma is positive, it means that the market is going to be kind of flat, and if the gamma is negative, then whatever move will be exacerbated.
Yes, not flat, but choppy.
Choppy.
It could be
Gotcha.
low choppiness, could be high choppiness, but it'll be choppy.
Mm.
Whereas the negative one is where you get Six Sigma events all of a sudden, and people go, "Oh, we've never seen this happen before."
Gotcha.
So we pushed out a modification to all subscribers today to the level and levels indicator. As you guys know, the level indicator is used in order to surface out the VWAP levels that matter on charts. These VWAP levels can be on any time frame that you choose in the settings. We generally use the 15-minute, 2-hour, 1 day, and 1 week. We were having an issue though, if you remember this, Peter, last week, where in choppy markets, especially in positive gamma scenarios, so choppy markets, what would happen is that instead of the price only hitting the VWAP levels that we have on our chart the day they're created, so that was created this day, they're also coming back and revisiting on following days, so that we would have moves up like this, a perfect setup for a short, but we would miss it because we can't always see, especially if we're down on the 1 minute or whatever. We don't always remember, hey, there are VWAP levels over here that the price is revisiting. I saw this again a couple of days ago down here when the price fell. And where did it fall to? It fell back down to what were mitigated levels from just the day before, but I didn't really pay attention to it. So what happens is that in positive gamma regimes, the price will chop around. And where does it chop around? It generally chops around between the VWAP levels from previous days. Let me say that again. On the chart over here, here's the previous day for MNQ. That's where the price went. This was the previous day before that. This is where the price went. A previous day, this is where price went. You'll see that the price keeps staying within the ranges, but these ranges were created by VWAP levels from days and weeks past. And so the price keeps staying within this range. So this answers your question, Peter. It'll be flat if those VWAP levels were very close together. Then that chop will be very close together. If those levels are far apart, then the chop can be very far apart and increase volatility. Today we had something like up to 784 million worth of positive gamma. Yes, that's a lot. Is it the most I've ever seen? No, but it's a lot. So what that means is whatever move I'm going to see in markets will often reverse back. All right, but before we get to that, I'm going to show you here that this is a chart of MNQ for a chart of MNQ on the 5-minute chart, and you'll see this is the old version of the script. Now on the right side, you'll see the new version of the script, and what you'll notice is additional lines here that are showing versus the lines you're seeing here. So what happens here is that what I wanted to see, I wanted to give you, the user, the ability to extend these levels if you wanted to. Now, it can be a little bit noisy for some people. They might not want to see all these levels appear on the chart constantly, and they could use the settings as they normally do. But if in the script you decide, hey, I want to switch this to right, what you can say is, hey, I want these levels to extend all the way to the right into the future. Like I want to see all the levels that I'm coming up to, which you can't see on the old version. I want to see all the levels, and I want levels from previous days to extend. And the number here, the number that you have on the right here, is how many sessions will extend. So if you're using a daily VWAP and I have 2 here, my line will extend 2 days out from where it was created. If I put 5 here, I'll see levels there from 5 days away.
I
So
have to choose.
You can choose, exactly. So if I have this at 0, it'll just behave like you normally see. On the right, you'll see the levels disappear, and it looks just like it did before. But if I decide to switch this to one more up, all of a sudden the levels from the previous day extend into the next day and even further out, so that I can see, hey, I'm expecting the price to bounce between these levels if gamma remains positive. And I could go real crazy and show it for 10 days. And now I'm going to see a bunch of different lines appear in the chart. And you might be like, Tom, this is crazy. How can you trade like this? Actually, this is super useful. In fact, I know a very successful trader that trades this way, because what happens is that you notice these areas, these air pockets. These air pockets become, first, these are resistances. So see this as a block over here. It's a resistance to the price to get there. But if price did break through here, the expectation is that it would go all the way to this next level. Like an air pocket. It's just an air pocket where you get to move up, all right, or move down. So over here, if we look at a bit, if we zoom out a little bit more, let's see even more levels. Let's see if the script can handle it. There is a maximum of 500 lines I can show on the chart. But yeah, here we go. I'm going to see if I can show you something here. Let me just switch this to the weekly. Maybe that might be a little bit easier to see. Okay, no, not any easier to see. So I really like the direction of this. It's pretty cool to have that option. You don't have to use it if you don't want to, but it can be exceedingly useful, to the point where today, and this is why I'm bringing it up today, when I was trading with it, and you'll see this on my chart now, I'm on the 15-minute, I extended it. So the day started off over here, folks, right? This is 6 p.m. and then this is 9:30 for the US Open. So what do we have over here? At night, at 6 p.m., at this 2-hour level here, I placed the limit order in order to take this trade up to the daily level. All right? So this was a relatively simple trade. Remember, I said we're going to talk more about the 2-hour level. This is a level that I paid attention to, and we moved up to over here. But we continued moving up a little bit further. Where did we move up a little bit further? You'll notice this over here. These levels here from a couple of days before, the price went up to there, and then to the next one, to the next VWAP level. Then it extended a little bit more, but because we were in an air pocket, the price came down. Where did it come down to? The next 2-hour level. That's exactly where it came to. It bounced from there up, next 2-hour level, and we're not going to go through this again and again for every chart. You can see the price came and revisited the VWAP level from the previous day. And because we're in positive gamma territory, where did we chop? We chopped literally through these levels that were invisible to us before, but are now visible. Here and here, and here are the VWAP levels from yesterday. But here and here are the VWAP levels from the day before. And that's where we spent our whole time chopping between.
A reminder that positive gamma means chop, likely.
Positive gamma means chop, exactly. Now, here's an interesting thing, and we talked about it this morning on Price Action Live on Traders Post when we wanted to when we're trading. You'll notice that at 9:30, so 9:30, a bunch of volume comes in. All right, a bunch of volume comes in, and we saw in the morning the price start to plummet. You remember this, Peter? The price started to plummet down. Plummet.
I remember.
And we saw people going, hey, are we going to keep on falling? If maybe today's a big day that we fall down. And I said, no,
Right.
we're not likely to have that because we have a heavy positive gamma day. Chop.
You saved me with that one.
I said, where are we likely to go to? Well, the nearest level that's unmitigated was this 2-hour level that was created from the day before. That's exactly where we went to. Why didn't we go further down? Because we have an air pocket. There's an air pocket here. There's no other levels. So, well, there is one other level. Sorry, I should mention this. If we go over here to the 15-minute, you'll see it extended a little bit further past the 2-hour because there was these levels. Previous levels again extended from a couple of days before that the price came down and wicked into. Wicks do all kinds of crazy things. Wicks just go and let me go grab some stuff. Prices OCD says, hey, there's a nearby level. Let me just go grab it. Right?
Gotta touch it.
And because it was positive gamma, it was attracted to those levels. Positive gamma makes even mitigated levels attractive to the price because it wants to chop around. So perfect entry for over here was these levels here, or you wait for the candle to pull back and you get into this level over here, or you give yourself enough of a stop. This would have been enough to stop people out, right? This is over here. It was this was 25. Actually, no. If you entered in over here with our $75 stop loss, you would have been fine. And you would have wicked this trade and you would have moved up. All right. Now, Peter, you remember how crazy it was to see this candle move back up afterwards, right?
Yep.
Where is that candle going to? The next unmitigated 2-hour level. Once you start seeing these levels on the chart, once you start seeing it, you tell me what else is that price responded to. If it's not this, if that's not where it's responded to, literally it wicks at that level. If that's not what it is, please tell me, what am I missing? This is it.
Yep.
You're like, oh, I've been waiting for the indicator my entire. This is the indicator you've been waiting for. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Once it gets to that level, fine. Put a short on. Why would I put a short on over there? Because we're in positive gamma. We're likely, not guaranteed, likely to bounce and reverse from whatever level we hit. So if you wanted to short from over there down, great trade. Oh, look, it went down all the way to this time. Remember this time frame change, this 2-hour time frame change?
Mm-hmm.
So the 2-hour candle started over here and it ended over here. And it just so happened that when we hit, we fell down to the VWAP level. So this back to the weekly VWAP, back to the daily VWAP on exactly the time frame, the 10 o'clock time frame over here. Right on that bar. That's where you take profit. So do you sit there and go, oh, I want to take the trade all the way down because there's so much there's levels below me? No. Positive gamma, chop. Sell it, go long. Isn't that what I did, Peter? I went long today.
Yep.
I went long right there. Now, I should have set a limit order here and gone long, but I didn't. I was too busy paying attention to other things. Went long. Where do we go up after that? Let me guess. The next 2-hour level. The next 2-hour level. Guys, I can't come over there and press the button for you. Okay? All I can do is show you.
Yep.
You show me other YouTube channels. You show me other things that are telling you, look, tell me it's not clear as day. Not only that, we had what we call the Mustang trade. What's the Mustang trade, Peter?
That's when the VWAP crosses from bullish to bearish or bearish to bullish.
That's right. When the overnight VWAP crosses the session VWAP on the daily, which is what happens over here. We're seeing this red here. It crossed over here when those VWAP crosses. That's an indication that we might have liftoff. Again, when that cross happens, what you want to do, what I would recommend is that you place a limit order or a stop order at the furthest VWAP level. So in this case would be the overnight. Here, right here would be the perfect level to set a limit price at. Why? Because you don't want to do it here as soon as you get the cross. You're already up here. Don't be one of those guys who goes, oh my God, I missed it. It crossed. I want to go ahead and, I don't want to wait for a pullback. I'm going to miss it. Yeah, you would have got stopped out. You might say, hey, Tom, but what if it doesn't come down? What if it did continue? Then you missed the trade. God, there's always another trade. Rule number 4, always another trade. So you get that over here, you get this limit order in, and boom, you ride this all the way up to the 2-hour level. Tom, why do you think this 2-hour level was the place to go to? Because if we take a look, what's the best way for me to show you this? That 2-hour level corresponds to, let me just show you here. So this is, see if you can follow me here, Peter. So this was remember, these are VWAP levels from previous days. This is why I added this modification to the script. I extended out to go, hey, where could the price respond to? We have a bullish VWAP now, so the likelihood is that we drift up. But we're not likely to massively move up because we're in positive gamma. So I take a look at where the daily levels are previously, and I go, hey, we're probably going to go to these daily levels. But while we're here, we're probably going to make an excursion to the nearest nearby level, which is what? This 2-hour level right over here. So what did I do? I set a limit order to sell right there. Was I disappointed and go down further? Sure. But I said it right there. Why do you do that? Because if you do it, you're like, oh, I'm going to wait for the confirmation, and you do it over here, right, where it first crosses the VWAP, the 50-minute VWAP back down. What happens on this candle? You get stopped out. This is why perfect entries matter so much. It gives you the most chance, the most room to get it right. And then from over here to over here, I was able to close it out for, what was it? I can't remember how many points it was. 60 points. Fine, I'll take it. On a positive gamma day, I'll take my scalps. That's $120 for 1 micro, $1,200 on an NQ if you're brave enough and you have enough to draw down.
What about Bitcoin?
What about Bitcoin? So Bitcoin, when you're dealing with Bitcoin now is moving with equities, right? And because of the futures market, the Bitcoin moves in that way. So what did we see? We saw a similar move. We saw because of positive gamma, the likelihood that we continued down today was low. More likely that where we opened that over here is around where the price would go, and that's exactly what happened. We came up over here. But because that matched with the VWAP of Bitcoin, and Bitcoin is this perpetual downward trend, that's where we stopped, and it even sold off at the end of the day to get back down to VWAP. This is showing us is more downward pressure on Bitcoin than we're seeing on equities. Even though equities, we're still getting the downward pressure, this is far more sideways than Bitcoin. Right? Bitcoin is in a downtrend. So I still think we go to $56,000, $55,000 on Bitcoin, maybe wick down to 50,000. That's what I'm expecting. And that's where I'm holding my short to. But I'm trading crypto futures with that because I'm not going to drive myself crazy trading multiple assets in my prop firm account. Just do it one at a time, please. Hold my crypto futures short. I have an expectation. I'm already up, whatever, 400% on that one. Yeah, 400% on that. I can just hold that. And when I get to 55,000, close my position and go long from there. So that's it,
Right.
guys. As you're watching these things, I'm getting it. Now, if you guys have been following for a while, you'll notice, okay, the chart starts to look a little bit more crazy. Starts to look at a lot of stuff on the chart. But it's not really, this to me is like driving through traffic, right? You're driving through traffic, you're driving, okay, I see that car over there, I see that, the light change. And if you keep driving the same roads and you're seeing the same thing, it's sort of like you get it. Okay, that car's gonna cut me off. I can see a truck over there and her horn honk, and the extra information. You're like, this is fine. You're not like, I want to clear out all this information. No, give me the information and able to navigate it through. I try to make it as clear as possible, as useful as possible. And if you find it difficult, you just toggle the script. You can just add the script to your chart and have one that has the levels on it and another one that doesn't, and then you just toggle in and out just to be able to set your trades and then go back to something that's a little bit clearer for you to use. So over here, I go on my 5-minute, I don't have all the extended levels. I have the extended levels on my 15-minute and on the 2-hour chart. And then when I go back to my 5-minute, okay, it's clearer. I'm able to navigate it from here, trade from here, 2-hour to 2-hour to 2-hour. All right?
What are you seeing for 6 p.m.?
So for the overnight, it'll be a similar type of thing. We have a move right now from close of about between 57 and 87 points to the downside. So I would be looking to short in the overnight. Since we're still in positive gamma territory, actually, let me see what we closed at. I don't know it off the top of my head here. So we closed out $1.9 billion gamma today. So that means we're likely to continue this until tomorrow, unless some big news happens overnight where we're going to chop around. And so, since we're at the top of the range, I would be shorting down. Oh wait, I made this mistake before. The it is a drop here from 60 to 90 points to the VWAP, but we also have the weekly level over here that's been created or that's been developed. Sorry, one second here. I'm looking at this wrong. Friday, Sunday. Okay, never mind. The weekly level has already been cleared, so forget it. I would be looking for this points down, but since I am ultimately bearish, I am expecting that we're going to get to the $24,000 level here down on Nasdaq. But I would not be surprised for a little bit of a move up over here. Grab that 2 hours before we move down. Why? Because the price is OCD and it don't like levels to be unmitigated. It likes to go and grab some of those, grab that, sucker people in, and then flush down the other side. So the higher we go up, the more likely I think we fall down to this level, but we could also drift down there as well. My overall stance is bearish because when we took a look at the dollar, we see that the dollar is still rising and is still bumping up into the channel. And I fully expect the DXY futures to end up at 98 to 27 over the next week or so. And if it does, equities will be a lot lower still.
What do you say to people who say, "Oh, there's too many people who care about indicators. People are always looking for another indicator. You don't need indicators to trade. You don't need to clutter up your chart with all these indicators." What do you say to people like that?
Some people go to the Olympics and they just use a recurve bow. They could pull a stick off of a tree, suck on one end, put their shoelaces on, and then fire their bow, no problem. Hey, if that's you, no problem. I want the compound bow with the scope and the stand, and I stand there and I'm getting everything measured up. And when I shoot, that deer is just as dead as anything else. If you can trade without any of this, and you have this intuition or you just get after it, girl. Go for it. I'm not that. I'm trading against myself, and I know that if I have the proper indicators that I make on my chart, that tells me what am I looking for, surfacing information that I keep ignoring, that when I look back at it later on, I should have seen it. Show it to me so that I have no excuse. I see it right in my face. And I find trading this way to be way easier. Before I had these indicators, I was blowing up prop firm accounts left and right. I went through 17 without batting an eye. And since I've been doing this, I think I lost one account like by accident, and I have not blown out a single eval or funded account.
I can tell you from an amateur's experience, Tom here, he's been trading for many years. He's focused on it. He works in the industry. He pays attention to it 24/7. He's not a part-time trader at all. He's focused and he's paying attention to this on all kinds of dimensions, including writing the indicators, pine code scripts, working with a platform that works in this field. I am an amateur. I look at these indicators. Do I understand everything I'm looking at? No. Okay. But I'm just telling you, just having the indicators on the chart gives me a far clearer sense of what's going on with the market. The amount of times that these indicators have saved me from making a bad choice, from FOMOing in, from seeing that red candle go down and thinking it's going to keep going down and I'm going to miss this ride. These indicators have saved me. If you understand 1% of this, it's enough for you to go out there and get these indicators. Tom has made a change here. The great sacred prophet is out there to help you. He realizes that if he can help you to make money, you can pay him money. So you can get these indicators for free trial, 14 days. You get the whole thing, the indicators, you get the dashboards, you get the Telegram group, all access for 14 days. Go ahead and try it right now, sacredprophet.com. Go ahead and check it out. Do your future self a favor. Get these indicators on the charts, and only then tell me, oh, I don't need this. But don't sit here watching this video thinking this is not going to help you. It's right there for the taking. Go take it. It's yours. Sacredprofit.com. Get those indicators right now and join the congregation. We welcome you.
All right. Having a good night, folks. We'll see you tomorrow.